You may know me by another name. Star-Lord.
Who?
Come on. I'm Star-Lord, man. You know, legendary outlaw.
What's the matter with your head?
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Roll Screen Time. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with fellow Guardian Christopher Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
I'm also here with Special Guest Nyk Morris.
Hi everybody.
And here we're starting the Guardians of the Galaxy marathon with the first one.
Yes. Yep, let me just get my notes ready. We have a lot to go over. Aha. Okay. So, should I get into the overview?
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy is a 2014 superhero film based on the Marvel Comics superhero team of the same name. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, it is the 10th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film was directed by James Gunn and written by Gunn and Nicole Perlman. The film stars an ensemble cast including Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, Dave Bautista, Vin Diesel, and Bradley Cooper as the titular Guardians, along with Lee Pace, Michael Rooker, Karen Gillan, Jimon Hansu, John C. Reilly, Glenn Close, and Benicio del Toro. And I guess going to the synopsis. Brash space adventurer Peter Quill finds himself in the quarry of relentless bounty hunters after he steals an orb coveted by Ronan, a powerful villain. To evade Ronan, Quill is forced into an uneasy trace with four desperate misfits: gun-toting Rocket Raccoon, tree-like humanoid Groot, enigmatic Gamora, and vengeance-driven Drax the Destroyer. But when he discovers the orb's true power and the cosmic threat it poses, Quill must rally his ragtag group to save the universe. So,
Where do you want to kick off, guys?
It was good.
yeah.
We can continue on.
Okay. Hey, I thought the film was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I've never, like I said in our intro video, I'd never seen Guardians. I'd never even heard of who they were before this movie was introduced. And I just fell in love with it. It was just such a cool concept. All the new locations, like I'd never known anything about Nowhere. I was like, that's just phenomenal storytelling, just to have like a whole location inside the brain of like the head of a dead celestial. That's so cool. Like just the whole thing. It was just a ride, such an adventure.
yeah, this film opened up a lot of things that would end up becoming very important in the MCU. I mean, this was the first proper film that we had Thanos. They introduced the whole idea of Celestials.
You said 10th movie when you were doing your introduction, and I was like, that's so long ago.
I know.
That seems like forever ago. And this movie set up so many things for where the MCU is now. Like it really did.
For better or for worst.
It really did set up a lot of things. It really did pave the way for where the MCU was heading.
But I guess why don't we get into the cast, starting with the man himself, Peter Quill, a.k.a. Star-Lord, played by Chris Pratt.
He was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess this was, for a lot of people, the first, like, major hero role he...
Yeah, I guess because I didn't think about it because, like, I knew him from Parks and Recreation, so, like, he was already a leading man to me. So, I know he wasn't, like, the lead in that show, but he was already, like, there. So, when he got this role, I was so excited to see Chris Pratt being a superhero.
Yeah, and plus, this character was tailor-made for him. You know,
Very quirky and funny.
we actually got to see, like, a three-dimensional character through Quill. I mean, we get to see him as, you know, the funny, goofy guy. We get to see him be a bit more serious. We see him be a bit more cunning and adventurous. Yeah. We get to see a huge facet of Peter Quill as a character. I mean, just seeing the little introduction of him as a kid, dealing with, you know, the death of his mother,
and thinking his grandfather didn't want him anymore and all that,
and then just being thrust into space,
into the galaxy.
I'm still trying to fully understand, what does Terran mean? Why is Earth?
I mean, because Terra is, like, the name of Earth. Like, so Terra means Earth in many languages. So, well, not many, but, like, a few languages. So that's where they got the root name, like, where we live on Earth. We're Terrans. Made sense to me. I was like, when I heard it, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. We could be called Terrans if you're, like, from outer space and you don't know we're called humans.
Or know that the planet's called Earth.
Or called Earth, yeah. There's no, it's Terra.
But I really did enjoy Star-Lord, and I now fully understand why he has become one of the bigger popular characters. I mean, any additional thoughts?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, with talking about the leader, why don't we get to more of the ragtag crew, starting with Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana. How many characters is she going to play that are different colors? We've seen her as blue, now she's green. I actually really liked how they introduced Gamora. I mean, a lot of times in the comics, she was just known as daughter of Thanos. She wasn't down with Thanos' ideas, so she goes and forges her own path. But I like seeing how
prominent they made her character in the MCU. Yeah, I agree.
And also really showing the evolution of her character from subservient to Thanos to forging her own path. And I think finding it with the Guardians was the best way to go about it.
They definitely helped her find her freedom.
Yeah. And we definitely get to see a lot of her personality.
Yeah.
You know, how initially she's absolutely no nonsense and, you know, just as cunning as everyone else, but you can see that
she definitely thwarted and tackled Star-Lord a few times right in the beginning. She took him down.
But as we see the film continue on, and even later on films, we start to see more walls fall down and
then come back up. But
true. But we actually get to see, you know, her be
growth,
vulnerable.
Her evolution is definitely one of the biggest things that they took the time to do, and I love that.
And the fact that that she went from a family she didn't want to a family
another one.
that she would do anything for.
Yeah, I thought she was good. That's it.
Okay. Well, why don't we get into the man who has the most vendetta? Drax the Destroyer, played by Dave Bautista. Now, as you all may know, I am a huge wrestling fan. Been a wrestling fan since I was about 5 years old. So I've seen a lot of wrestlers come into major prominence, and Dave Bautista's one of them. I remember when he first showed up on television as a deacon for Devon Dudley when he was in his Reverend phase. Then I see him become the enforcer for Triple H in Evolution. So, and then him becoming a multiple-time world champion. So when he decided to get into acting, I don't know. I didn't know how to fully feel about this. This could either go really well or it could turn really terrible. So it could either be The Rock on a good day or Hulk Hogan. But to my surprise,
He's
my
pretty
God,
decent.
more than decent. Dave Bautista
He's
is already...
decent. Like, he's climbed the ladder. I'm very proud of him and what he's doing. Like, he's in Dune now. Like, come on. I'm very proud of, like, the steps he's taking, the leaps he's making.
Of all the actors, of all the wrestlers turned actors, he is the best one. I was truly surprised with how good he would be as Drax, and even some of his other roles.
And I love that he's like playing characters. Like, don't get me wrong, I love The Rock, but The Rock is The Rock in every role.
Yeah,
Dave Bautista is like the character he's playing. I am very proud of him. Like, he's not like trying to be like, I'm Dave Bautista and you know me, you'll always know me, I'm just here on screen now. Like, no, he's like melding and taking on these big roles, and like I'm like I said, I love seeing it.
He's being a true actor.
He is. He's acting.
You know, with The Rock, it's after his first few films where he actually played a character.
He tried, but like
he's
he just
essentially
gave up. He's just playing
The Rock
himself.
now.
He's just playing The Rock. He's just playing The Rock. Is no difference.
And then, dear God, Hulk Hogan.
We don't talk about that.
But yeah, Dave Bautista actually is a true character actor, and I love how he portrayed Drax.
Yeah, me too.
You know, initially he's just this very stoic, no nonsense, I don't understand metaphors whatsoever.
He turned out to be the funniest character.
Just so exuberant, and
I love it.
He's like a big kid.
He just says the most deadpan things, and it just cracks you up. It's wonderful to watch. It really is.
But he's very sincere about it.
He is. He means everything he says. That's what's hilarious. He meant it when he told Mantis that she was ugly. Gorgeous.
Though I did feel kind of weird as after, the big crash. Why was he insulting everyone as they were walking through the corridor? I thought we had gone over that hurdle. maybe that was him just trying to be a bit, show his endearment to them. I mean, I truly enjoyed it. And plus, dear God, this man was on a mission. He wanted Ronan's head.
Oh, yes, he did.
I mean, to the point that you call his whole armada to nowhere so you can throw hands. I mean, you gotta give him credit. Yeah. I mean, he lost his wife and his daughter because of Ronan, and well, really Thanos.
I was about to say because of Thanos, because he wanted Thanos' head too.
Yeah. But I mean, we got to see a great character, and to see his evolution as time goes along is truly great. I mean, your thoughts?
Yeah, he was good and fun.
Well, why don't we get into
Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah.
Bradley Cooper.
Yes, Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper. Yeah, I was very interested on how they were going to go about Rocket.
I was too. I mean, if you like when this movie came out, the only thing Bradley Cooper had been really big, like really widely known for, was The Hangover.
Yeah.
So him becoming Rocket, we're like,
I don't know.
just side-eyed the whole thing. But he's so wonderful as Rocket. I adore Rocket. Like, that little spunky raccoon stole my heart. He is so shifty.
I think right next to Star-Lord, he is quite possibly one of the most Well, Star-Lord and Groot, he's quite possibly one of the most popular characters.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that Bradley Cooper decided to do his best Joe Pesci impersonation to give Rocket,
just that little edge,
his personality.
It's so good.
And plus, knowing now the full story, we kind of understand why he's the way he is in this first film. He's
so standoffish and he's just full of pain. Like, and then we'll get to it later, but when you look back at it, you see why he was in so much pain and like why he had confronted the other teammates and like initially the way he did. And it's just wonderful watching him grow to love them and open up to them and call them family. It's really cute.
Yeah, because initially the only person he had was Groot.
It was Groot. And honestly, he didn't even treat Groot that well. He was just kind of like muscle for hire.
Yeah.
He rode around on
But we actually get to see the evolution of their relationship. And it's kind of like truly like they're brothers.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It was truly great to see how this character evolves. Plus, I mean, it's a walking, talking raccoon carrying various weapons and enjoying it.
And stealing it from other people if he can't get it himself or make it himself. I love his thievery.
And just apparently having a penchant at laughing at people that don't have limbs.
But he likes to get those limbs. That's what's funny. He's like, I'm going to get that arm. I love it.
Oh, no, I was just joking about the leg. But was it funny
he
of
was
him
going to get that leg. He was going to get Bucky's arm. Like, he's got the eye. Like, he was going to take everybody's body parts. I love it.
I mean, why does he enjoy watching people struggle?
Oh, Rocket.
I mean, your thoughts on Rocket?
Yeah, he was good.
Well, I guess with the major team, should we go into the ally? Well, those that were at odds but end up becoming allies, or do we go into the main villain?
Let's go with Nebula.
Oh, going a whole different route.
Yeah.
Okay, Nebula.
I mean, I'm wearing blue for my girl. I love Nebula.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? You got her on your shirt?
Yeah.
Come on.
Nebula, played by Karen Gillan.
Yeah. She almost died in this movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah, originally she was supposed to die in
I
this
didn't know
film.
she was supposed to die.
But
she's so good. She's Karen Gillan.
yeah. But James Gunn loved her performance so much. He was like, you know what?
that.
We're keeping her.
I definitely get that. 'Cause-
Yeah, she talked about on her panel at AwesomeCon.
Did she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
all
both
got to see her, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get an autograph because
Sold
too
out.
many. Yeah, it literally sold out.
I bet that was because I would also buy. I love Karen Gillan.
And she wasn't even the most expensive person there. But yeah, we weren't able to see her because autographs sold out.
Yeah.
She's now the next white whale next to David Tennant for me. But it was truly great to see Karen Gillan
Yes.
go with this
Yes.
different
Oh my
type of
God.
character.
Because we were Doctor Who.
Yeah,
So like we remember
she
like,
was
when
Amy
came-
Pond.
Yes, she was Amy Pond. I know you still remember when she came out at Comic-Con and she pulled off that wig and she was bald and she said, "I'm playing Nebula." There were moments in the zeitgeist. That was one of them. The moment when she pulled that wig off and she was bald and she announced that she was playing Nebula, it was just incredible, and she's done a fantastic job in the role. I love seeing her as Nebula on screen.
Yeah, it's weird now that
And she's practically an Avenger now. Like, I love it. She's like a side Avenger. Like, I love how, like, a character who was supposed to be killed off has, like,
become one of
the best.
yeah, one of the major staples in the whole franchise.
She saved the world. I mean, come on. I love it.
Well, the universe.
The universe.
And more than once.
Half the universe.
I mean, it's great, but to see her evolution, I mean, initially in this film, she's just doing her daddy's bidding.
Yep. Being bitter. Poor thing.
And essentially trying to stop the Guardians and get the Power Stone for Thanos. And the fact that she was just ruthless.
Oh my gosh.
I felt very Wile E. Coyote with her, but a much
she was
more
chasing them down for like
But
this
a-
whole movie.
but a much more angry Wile E.
Yes.
Coyote.
She was gonna get him. She was gonna take him out.
I mean, even to the point that she had no qualms in just letting one of her hands go.
Nope.
Just so she could fight another day.
Let's see.
But
we can move on to.
yeah, do we go into?
You want to go to Yondu?
Yeah,
All right.
Yondu Udanta, played by Michael Rooker.
I think you mean Mary Poppins.
Next week.
Foreshadowing.
I can't help it.
I was very interested in how Michael Rooker was going to play this
I
because
was too, actually.
I mean, a lot of people know him from some of his other roles.
Very
where,
tough.
Yeah,
Very
tough
tough
Southern
roles,
guy.
yes.
But somehow, some way, that
Endeared you to him as a character.
and it made something very different and unique with Yondu, because as far as many of the original Guardians, he didn't really have too much personality. Yeah, but Michael Rooker really gave him great deal of personality.
How do you flip a character and endear a character to the masses who was originally hired to kidnap a child from his planet?
And not just Peter, he did that with many.
With several. So he was like a child trafficker. But how do you endear a child trafficker to everybody? It was a magic trick. And then get them calling you Mary Poppins. Whatever he did in this role, it was magic. It really was.
And I do find it interesting that instead of the Native American warrior that he kind of originally was in the comics, where he had a whole, quiver of those arrows that he controls.
Yeah.
He's more of a gunslinger that has that one arrow.
And I think it's just cool. He just be whistling and just zip, zip, zip. I love
And
it.
take everyone
Just
out
take
before
everybody
you
out
even
before you
know
can
what's
blink.
going on.
Before you can even blink, he's got them gone.
And the fact of how we see his relationship with Peter, I mean, initially, in this one, he's a lot more like a boss to Peter.
Than a father, yeah.
But as we see in future installments, we actually see that it was kind of a father-son relationship.
It was, yeah.
And it kind of took time for both of them to realize it. That,
I care about you. Men things. Takes a while.
Yeah. It's just a very weird and intense way of how it all started. So I guess it took time for them.
Like I said, child trafficking. Takes a minute.
Yeah. I guess now do we go into the Nova Corps, or do we go into the main villain and his henchmen?
What do you think?
I guess main villain.
All right.
Okay. Go into Ronan the Accuser, played by Lee Pace. Much different way. This was a much different way I thought they were going to go about with Ronan, because it isn't so much he's a fanatic. He usually goes around...
He seemed very calm.
He goes around the whole universe essentially making his judgment on various planets and whatnot to see if they
calm in the comics. He was very just stoic. He was just like, I'm doing my business. I don't really care if I succeed or not, but I'm gonna succeed. Like, it was just very chill about it.
In many ways, yes. Okay. Yeah. He's very calculating with this. And, when he makes his judgment, those that don't meet up to his standards, he will cleanse them.
All right, so let's go into the Nova Corps.
Though, I do find it interesting that he was working for Thanos in a weird way. That they were kind of
he didn't seem like he was that bothered. He was just doing... he was like, I'm going to win. I'm not bothered by it, though. Like, if I don't win, then...
he did want vengeance on,
He seemed very chill about the whole thing.
He did want vengeance on those that did the Kree dirty.
Yes, because, those were his people.
That's the reason why this man... Does he sleep and bathe in the blood of those he accuses? Hey, he's intense. But I do like the slight little moments where he does show his own kind of deadpan comedy.
Yeah.
Like, just completely bewildered on Quill dancing. What are you doing? Dance off, bro.
Dance off, bro.
Gamora. Okay, I'm bringing it back. What are you doing, you idiot? I'm distracting you. But, I guess get into, his right-hand man?
Oh.
His right-hand man.
I thought you were going to say the Defenders.
No, Korath, played by Jimon Hansu. I swear, every time we've run into Jimon Hansu one way or another in our reviews. But it was cool to see him, and it is interesting seeing how he was in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Him and Ronan to
Captain
what they are
Marvel,
now. And that massive L the Kree took really got them in their feelings. To the point that they were working for Thanos as mercenaries, and oof. Yeah, that was a massive fall from grace for them.
I'm just saying, Captain Marvel, she did her due. She got him.
Yeah. But it was interesting to see him now as a cyborg. And in the fact that he's still loyal to the Kree. Yeah. Mainly Ronan. And plus the fact he even got to show a little bit of his
humor, yeah.
Jimon Hansu's just great, no matter what capacity we see him.
I don't even know. Like, I feel like my favorite thing that he was in was What If. Like, just him with Star-Lord T'Challa. That was just, I don't know, that chemistry, that connection, impeccable. But I know we're talking about Guardians, but I love their dynamic.
That was a major redemption for him.
It really was.
With that.
Him and Star-Lord T'Challa, it was just, that was cute.
So many missed opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, your thoughts on Ronan and Korath?
They were... Well, Korath I like more than Ronan. Ronan was just evil, just for the sake of it.
That's what I said. He was just chilling. He didn't seem bothered. He was just doing
Well, no, he wanted his vengeance on those who did the Kree dirty.
He didn't seem it, though. He was just like, I'm going to go kill all these people, and if I win, I win. If I don't, oh well. Like, he did not seem bothered. He was just out there doing stuff.
But he will cleanse them. He is the accuser.
But it wasn't like it was like a passion. It didn't seem passionate for him, like a villain. Like, it was just like
true.
What he was doing.
He definitely shows it more in the comics and Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Where, his whole I must make judgment is like a major thing for him.
See, I don't know if that was because Lee Pace seems like a chill guy. He just seems very chill and laid back, so maybe that's why he played it like that, because like that's how his character is. But like, I don't know. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more aggression out of my villain.
I mean, he did show some.
I don't know. It just I feel like Nebula. She wasn't like the main antagonist, but she definitely showed more aggression and passion for what she was doing compared to Ronan.
I guess I get that. And also,
she had more convictions behind it, even though she knew she was wrong. Like, she knew Thanos was like not correct, but she was going with her whole heart. Ronan was just out there doing it.
Yeah, and let's not forget, he's a part of the Bald Villain Brigade.
Yeah. Technically, so is she.
Very true. Why is everyone that's a villain, like just the bald. First phase, bald?
Just bald.
Great. But now we get into the Nova Corps, starting with Roman Day, played by John C. Reilly.
I didn't expect to see him.
Yeah, neither did I. I mean, John C. Reilly's a great actor.
Yeah, but I didn't expect him to pop up in the MCU. Like, sometimes there are people who pop up in the MCU and I'm like, how'd you get here?
Well, remember.
Not that they're bad actors, it's just like, it's not somebody you'd expect to be in the MCU.
I mean, you could say the same thing for Glenn Close. What is this woman doing in the MCU? She's Glenn Close. But that's the whole point. The MCU's trying to essentially collect every great actor you can think of.
They really are.
To play some sort of role in this universe. They really are. To the point that sometimes there may be more than one version of them in said universe.
Yeah, but like in movie 10, you're like, John C. Reilly, why are you here?
But he was great with the little role he had.
It was cute. Little Nova Corps.
And the fact that, he mainly cares about his family and his garden. His various plants. And the fact that he doesn't even initially see Peter as like a major threat. Nope. He sees him as like, a funny little
dude doing crimes, and he's just got to keep him in check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as time goes along and we see the major fight occur,
he begins to take him seriously.
Yeah, and earns Peter's respect, and Peter gains a great deal of respect for him. But we're talking about, I guess, is he one of the more ranking members? The main woman herself, Irani Rail, played by Glenn Close. Who would have thought Glenn Close and this character nonetheless? Yeah. But it works with her being the leader of the Nova Corps. I mean, when
She's got that strong.
When they finally get Nova off the ground, they better bring her back.
I would hope that we haven't seen much of Nova Corps since.
Last I heard, they all got decimated by Thanos.
And Xandar when he took them out, so.
Though of all planets, why Xandar?
Just because I guess they had the stone, but like. You didn't have to take them out, Thanos.
Yeah, and no,
they were not a threat.
And with Ronan, why do you have this main beef with Xandar? Wouldn't you mainly be trying to find the Skrull and
For
Captain
real.
Marvel?
For real.
Wouldn't you be mainly trying to
Xandar?
find
Unless
them?
they're there, I don't know.
Well, I guess they were a part of his whole crusade of, making judgment.
Yeah.
So, I guess I get it. But yes, I want to see Glenn Close and John C. Reilly come back.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they're alive. Everybody came back because of one of the snaps.
There's multiverse. They can come back.
Though I don't know how long we gonna have multiverse. I don't know. Things haven't been going too well. There might be a whole nother idea Feige has if things go foobar.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. But let's not forget another important character. Talir Tivan, otherwise known as the Collector, played by Benicio del Toro.
For a second time.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
he did. He came back.
we talked about one
Yeah.
of his first roles in The Living Daylights earlier. So it's interesting to see
Come back
him
around.
early in his career and then see him now as this fully accomplished actor.
Yeah.
And with what little part he had in this,
He made an impact.
Yes. Yes. The fact that he's just this weird individual that wants to collect
Everything.
yes, whether it be
Howard the Duck to an Infinity Stone.
yeah,
He's just got it.
Cosmo the Space Dog.
He's got it.
Initially he was gonna have Stan Lee.
Yeah.
How he got Stan Lee, I don't
Ended
know.
up there, who knows?
But hey, I mean, he's the guy that wants to have everything.
Yep.
I mean, he already had one Infinity Stone, then he had two
Then he
for a
got
short
two.
period of time. Oh God, did that make him the most powerful man in the universe for,
If he'd have
for a
used it,
second?
he could have been.
I mean, he had the ether, and then he
Yeah.
had the Power Stone. Oof. And the fact that he's a very morally ambiguous character.
Yeah.
Because usually in the comics, he's just the lapdog crony for Thanos. He is essentially he is to Thanos just like how Toad is to Magneto. A literal toady that does his bidding. So it's interesting to see him as kind of his own entity, just doing his own thing. Though apparently he's also a bit screwy because one of his servants was ready to use that stone to wreck him.
Yeah, that's true. She was ready to take him out.
Though she couldn't handle it.
Don't make a move if you ain't ready, girl.
But I guess get into the good. I mean, the plot was great. It was a very good way of introducing the Guardians, essentially assembling them, and showing the greater world of space in the Marvel Universe. All the different planets and all the different,
people living on those planets. It really did open up the world. Well, the universe.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't really been to space before. So, this opened up that nut for us. And we just got to see, oh my gosh, the cinematography. Just those shots in space. It was just eye candy.
All the chef kisses. I mean, your thoughts, Andrew?
It was good.
Of course, the action was fantastic. I mean, we got to see every member shine in one way or another.
Definitely.
And
spotlighted everybody.
And each one had their own unique way of doing their thing. Whether it's Quill being very cunning, using his rocket boosters or his laser guns. Rocket with his various weaponry, Groot just being
Just shooting his arms. And
oh yeah.
hitting everybody, snaring them up.
Speaking of that, we forgot to talk about him.
I mean, he
Yes,
is Groot.
Groot.
What else can we say about Groot? He is Groot.
Yeah, although he does a sacrifice,
Yeah. Oh.
but he'll
But-
be back.
But Vin Diesel was great with what he what he was working with this.
Yeah.
I mean, all this man had to say was, "I am Groot,"
And he stole the hearts of everybody.
Yes, I mean, who would have thought this giant tree man would be the most precious cinnamon bun
Exactly.
that we would all love in this vast universe of heroes and villains?
Don't worry, we'll talk about him more in the second video because I mean, baby.
Yes,
Groot. You gotta
and-
talk about Baby Groot.
and-
So we'll
and-
come back to Groot.
And also, we get to discuss more on how his performance evolved.
Yeah.
Of course, all the comedic moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so funny. Oh my
And some of
gosh.
them were even improvised. Like when Quill had the orb and he dropped it. For real,
That was what happened.
that was an actual accident that they decided to keep in the film. And plus, just how much of a smart aleck like half the crew is.
Yes, it's so funny. Everybody's so sarcastic. It really is a funny movie.
And like I said, the setup for so many future plot points. I mean, yeah, our first introduction to Thanos proper.
Just like
The
the
guy
people in his
from
circle.
Avengers gets killed off. His other right hand man who was talking got killed off by Ronan.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Who was in the Avengers? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things really got set up in this. Them going a bit more into what the Infinity Stones are. Really going much more into detail about the Celestials.
Yeah.
And discussing that Peter is half Celestial. And plus them acknowledging of how much of a jerk his dad is. Though, dear
We'll get
God.
into that ego later.
Dear God. And thus, everyone's acting was great.
Yeah, it was.
You know, whether they were a main character or supporting character or even a cameo, everyone was great. And speaking of cameos, Stan Lee cameo! Yeah, originally he was supposed to be one of the various things the Collector collected.
Yeah.
But they decided to just have him be a guy on Xandar, you know?
With his two girls, you know.
Yeah, just doing his thing. And Rocket calling him Grandpa. But all the other cameos that we saw in this film, Sean Gunn as Kraglin. Who would have thought that
He became.
he would become such a major character?
Yeah, I never
over
would have thought
time.
that. I mean, I knew he was like James Gunn's brother. I mean,
Yeah.
I knew him from like Gilmore Girls. So when I saw him there, I was like, Kirk. I was like, Kirk, what are you doing here?
But I mean, hey, he's a part of the crew that James Gunn, no matter what, finds a way to put him in his
He
films.
will have his brother in his film, and I love that. As somebody who rocks with my sister like that, like that's my best friend, I would have her in everything. I always have her in everything, so I definitely understand where he comes from with that.
And since we talk about it, Josh Brolin as Thanos. This was the
Oh my
first
God.
film he did as Thanos. He doesn't have that much of
No,
a part in
but
it,
he's
but
there. You're like, that's Thanos.
Yes, him
It's just
in
excitement.
his pimpin' hover chair, you know, just telling Ronan, if you ever talk to me like that again, I will bathe the starways in your blood. I mean, just I mean, you know, you know, once he's ready, oh dear
It's
God,
gone.
all bets are
all
off.
hell is gonna break loose, and that's what happened. So it was a wonderful introduction to like just peek into who was coming.
Oh, and since you brought him up, Alexis Denisof as the other.
Yeah.
Alexis Denisof was there?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
he was the other in the Avengers movie, too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
he was
that.
the other.
Yeah,
That was the other.
Okay.
And dear, did Thanos just get another other, or was that just it? Ronan being like, I'm sick and tired of you yelling at me and talking down to me. Brap.
Yep.
Oh, I just broke your neck. And the fact Thanos is unbothered by it too.
Like,
I mean,
people are disposable, but also he doesn't want to waste them.
yeah,
Complicated guy.
yeah. Ophelia Lovabond as Karina. Yeah, that was the girl that was in Quill's ship, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had forgotten that you were even there. Peter Surfinowitz as Garth and Saul. I believe, yeah, he was the guy that ran the shop that Quill was originally going to give the orb. And of course, he's always in everything James Gunn works with. Of course, we got to see Greg Henry as Grandpa Quill and Laura Haddock as Meredith Quill. Though unfortunately in much more solemn periods for both characters.
Yeah.
I mean, dear God, did they really have to show Meredith die?
That was so sad. Oh.
I mean, dear God.
Yeah. We'll get more into that in the second movie.
Yeah. Of course, this was also our first introduction to Cosmo the Space Dog. Though,
Just back there, just being cute.
before we realized what immense power said dog has.
Just being a good... Oh, she's a good dog.
And also a couple other recurring Gunn allies, Lloyd Kaufman and Nathan Fillion as two inmates in the prison. Nathan Fillion, he was the voice of the big inmate that unfortunately got a nose full of grease.
Yeah.
And Lloyd Kaufman was one of the guys that was sitting at the table. And Lloyd, he was one of the main guys of Trauma.
Oh.
So, of course, James Gunn's gonna find a way to bring one of his close-knit people from his original studio into his other projects. And also, interestingly enough, Rob Zombie lent his voice as the Ravager Navigator. Yeah. Dead I am, the one exterminated son, slipping through the trees, strangling the breeze. Yeah. Who would have thought Rob Zombie would get involved?
Yeah.
And of course, the biggest cameo of all.
Howard the Duck.
Played by Seth Green. Who... How in just a short period of time they were able to redeem this character in movies. Unfortunately, Howard may not get his own film.
Probably not, but he did. He made an impact. He made a splash.
And the fact that we still see him from time to time in so many other things is great. And I love how Seth Green portrays him.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Now, as far as before we get into the greatest good of all, why don't we touch into just a little bit of the bad? And really, it's just the continuity errors of where Gamora and Nebula are when the Power Stone was found. Because when you look back at it, when they go back in time in Endgame, things aren't adding up.
Yeah.
Things are really not adding up.
Yeah. That's kind of the problem. Like, it's so hard to juggle everybody with different projects and different directors and
Very true.
through lines. They try their best, so you kind of got to give them grace. You got to suspend your disbelief and just go for the ride. Like, you can't nitpick everything, but you notice it's there when you watch it. You've seen them so many times and you followed from the beginning,
and
you notice things.
Yeah, because in Endgame, we see them doing Thanos' bidding on another planet.
Yeah.
But when Ronan realizes that someone has found the Power Stone, they're at Thanos' throne.
Yeah.
So... What?
Probably cinematography. They probably did it for the shot.
Yeah, I guess. But besides that, the greatest good of all of this film, my God, the music! My God, the music!
The best soundtracks.
One of the best soundtracks.
Some of the best soundtracks in film go to these movies.
And I guess it's because James Gunn is such a big music fan.
It's curated playlists, and it's wonderful.
And all the songs really fit the story.
I appreciate it so much as a writer who writes with music, and like these guys have ridden with me in my car, and they like heard me listen like to my character's playlist. So like, as somebody who has playlists for each character, playlists for each like story that I'm working on, every script, every book, everything. Like, I appreciate as much work as I put into like the playlist and what goes into it. I love seeing how much work and attention to detail went into all of these soundtracks. And like, they even label like the movies Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Like, that's how integral the music is to these plots.
I mean, they're all called the Awesome Mix for a reason. I mean, can I just give a rundown of the whole soundtrack? I mean, "Hooked on a Feeling" by Blue Swede. Mm-hmm. "Go All the Way" by the Raspberries. "Spirit in the Sky" by Norman Greenbaum. Dun, 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 dun. "Moon Age Daydream" by David Bowie. It was originally discussed that James Gunn did want David Bowie to show
play
up
character
in one of the films.
That would have been perfect.
If Bowie hadn't passed away.
Yes, that would have been, oh my God.
What character?
Oh my
but of
God.
all the different.
Ziggy in space. Ziggy in the MCU.
I mean, he could have been Major Tom. He could have been in the spacesuit. He could have been Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane. He could have been awesome. So many great things. That would have been awesome to see. One of the saddest missed opportunities ever. Definitely. But at least we got some of Bowie's music in
his
this.
His music touched it, and that's
and plus Moon Age Daydream nonetheless.
Yes, I love Moon Age.
Keep your electric eye on me, babe. Put your ray gun to my head. Press your space face close to my love. Freak out to a Moon Age Daydream, oh yeah. God. I love the whole rise and fall of Ziggy Stardust. I mean, "Fooled Around and Fell in Love" by Elvin Bishop. "I'm Not in Love" by 10cc, which that was one of the best ways to open the film because of... It's such a very sad moment, but it's also such a lovely song that I'm not in love, so don't forget it. I mean, I love it. "I Want You Back" by the Jackson 5, which was such a great way to bookend the film. "Come and Get Your Love" by Redbone, another great way to start the film proper. God. "Cherry Bomb" by the Runaways. I mean, that was the great suit-up, one of the greatest suit-up montages ever. "Escape," the Pina Colada song by Rupert Holmes. Such great. Ooh Child by 5 Stair Steps. See, now, great song. Love the song. Biggest missed opportunity was him actually playing Footloose. But then again, we're mainly focusing on the 1970s with this soundtrack, so it's understandable. Footloose was 80s, this soundtrack was 70s.
Yeah.
So, I get it. And Ain't No Mountain High Enough by Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. I mean, you're just banger after banger, after banger, after banger.
Whole soundtrack of bangers.
I mean, your thoughts on the soundtrack?
It was good.
But I guess at this point, give our scores.
Yeah, I give this a 7 out of 10 mainly because I like other movies better. The other sequel's better than this one.
I agree. We were talking about this on the way out when we saw movie 3. So I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. Like, it was definitely, there are better ones, but it definitely started off the franchise on a high note.
With me, I guess I'm going to have to agree with you. Give it an 8. I definitely... Part of me wants to say give it a 9, but
this one was your favorite, so go ahead and give it a 9.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm giving it a 9. I love this film. Yeah. I really do. This film was fantastic. It has so many things that I enjoy when it comes to a movie. You gotta have a great plot, great cast of characters. Give me a great adventure, and dear God, do you have just an amazing soundtrack to go along with said adventure.
Exactly.
I mean, and just all these great cameos. It has action and comedy, and also very heartfelt moments.
Yeah, it's very.
This is a fantastic film. Fantastic.
But if you have other opinions, go find us on Facebook, Real Screen Team, where else?
You can also find us on Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok.
Make sure to find us on YouTube and make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You can find me on Amazon. All of my books are available on Amazon. My handles on Instagram and TikTok are at Nyk Morris, so you can find me very easily. I'm always on there. So show your support, show your love. Like, follow, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.
All right, so back to our Guardians 2 next. So.
Well, thank you all for watching. Definitely come back and watch us again. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It really helps. Well, cut, print, that's a wrap.